Everyone was shocked. It's a big challenge and I like it. I like to accept it.
$10 million. That's the minimum amount industry analysts at Sportico estimate for Alex Eala's off-court earnings. A remarkable figure that highlights just how valuable her growing global profile has become beyond the tennis court.
For him is a lose-lose. For me, is the win-win, right?
That estimate covers the 12-month period between July 2025 and June 2026, reflecting a year in which her popularity, commercial appeal, and marketability continued to rise alongside her success on the biggest stages in tennis.
Deal with this life of being, Michael Jordan in the Philippines.
And the momentum isn't slowing down. Major brands are still watching closely, new sponsors are still lining up, and fresh endorsement offers continue to arrive, signaling that Alex Eala's commercial value is only becoming stronger with each passing month.
I have never really the biggest server in comparison to a lot of the girls.
A figure like this is usually reserved for players who have already reached the very top of the sport. It typically comes after winning a Grand Slam, lifting a major trophy on a Sunday afternoon in Paris, London, or New York, or completing a career-defining championship run. Alex Eala hasn't reached that stage yet. She has never played in a Grand Slam final, and she has yet to capture a WTA Tour singles title. According to the WTA rankings released on June 29, 2026, she sits at world number 32 with a season record of 27 wins and 17 losses, while her career prize money stands at just over $871,000. Compared to an estimated $10 million in off-court earnings, those numbers exist in completely different worlds. The gap between what she has earned through competition and what brands believe she is worth has become one of the most fascinating stories in professional tennis. That difference did not appear overnight. It reflects a growing belief among sponsors that Alex Eala represents something much bigger than her current ranking. To understand why companies are investing so heavily in her future, you have to go back to Wimbledon on July 4, 2026. Walking onto center court as a player ranked outside the top 30, Eala produced the biggest victory of her career by defeating the defending champion in straight sets after surviving a dramatic first-set tiebreak. Although her tournament ended 2 days later with a fourth-round loss to Jasmine Paolini, the result didn't suddenly attract sponsors. They were already investing in her long before that breakthrough. Wimbledon simply reinforced what many brands had already believed. When a young athlete begins generating enormous commercial value before winning the sport's biggest titles, people often dismiss it as hype. It's an easy explanation because it suggests the excitement will eventually fade. But the numbers surrounding Alex Eala don't behave like hype. Sportico's 2026 rankings placed her among only 7 women estimated to have earned at least $10 million in off-court income during the previous 12 months. One of the other names in that exclusive group is Naomi Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion. Eala has yet to win a major title, yet the sponsorship market is already placing her in the same commercial conversation. That sends a clear message. Brands are no longer treating her as a promising young prospect. They're treating her as one of tennis' most valuable long-term investments. That growing reputation has also fueled countless rumors online. Over the past year and a half, social media posts have falsely claimed that Eala signed a $45 million racket deal with Wilson, accepted a multi-million-dollar sponsorship from Emirates, and even received a luxury endorsement offer from Louis Vuitton after the US Open. None of those stories are true. Independent fact checks have shown those claims were fabricated and widely shared across engagement-driven social media pages. In reality, Eala remains under contract with Babolat and continues using the Pure Aero 2023 racket. Yet the most interesting part isn't that the rumors were false. It's that so many people found them believable. Those stories spread because the market already sees Alex Eala as someone luxury brands could realistically pursue. Her actual endorsement portfolio tells an even more impressive story. Globe Telecom recognized her potential when she was just 8 years old, years before she reached the professional tour. Today, she is also backed by Nike, Babolat, the Bank of the Philippine Islands, and locally Juice, with each partnership publicly confirmed and well documented. Combined with additional commercial agreements that have not been publicly disclosed, these sponsorships form the foundation of Sportico's estimate that her off-court earnings have surpassed the $10 million mark. This is where the story truly changes. The question isn't whether Alex Eala is being overpaid. The real story is that the sponsorship market has reached a conclusion long before the rankings have. Brands believe she has the rare ability to attract attention, build loyal audiences, and connect with fans on a global scale. That belief has already been visible throughout the season. During her tournament debut at Indian Wells, the crowds following Eala became so large that Coco Gauff, playing on a nearby court, paused to acknowledge them, thanking fans for coming out before joking about how many had gathered to watch the rising Filipino star. Moments like that reveal why companies continue investing in Alex Eala's future even before the biggest trophies have arrived. The attention surrounding Alex Eala became impossible to ignore during her rise through some of the biggest tournaments on the calendar. At Indian Wells, the crowds following her matches grew so large that Coco Gauff took notice. Speaking after her own match, Gauff thanked the fans for filling the stands, joking that many of them had come primarily to watch Eala. Coming from a reigning Grand Slam champion, that moment carried real significance. It wasn't simply a compliment. It was evidence that Eala had become a genuine attraction. This wasn't just support from the Filipino community. It was a clear market signal showing that fans, regardless of nationality, were eager to watch her compete. That impression has been echoed by respected voices throughout the tennis world. Sky Sports lead tennis presenter Gigi Salmon recalled the atmosphere surrounding Eala's matches in Miami and Dubai, describing the crowds as unlike anything she had seen for a player outside the world's elite rankings. Speaking to Tennis 365, Salmon said the scenes in Dubai felt like a Taylor Swift concert, with fans screaming and packing the stands wherever Eala played. She even suggested that, in terms of fan appeal alone, Alex Eala might already be one of the biggest stars in women's tennis. Those are extraordinary comments considering Eala was still ranked outside the top 30 at the time. That is why the traditional way of evaluating tennis success no longer tells the full story. Normally, endorsements arrive after Grand Slam titles, top 10 rankings, and years of proven results. Alex Eala has reversed that timeline. Brands have invested before the biggest trophies because they are measuring something different. They are looking beyond wins and losses and focusing instead on audience engagement. The question is no longer how many titles she has won. The question is how many people stop what they're doing to watch her play. On that measure, Alex Eala is already performing at the level of the sport's biggest commercial stars. One of the strongest endorsements of Eala's growing influence came from Kim Clijsters, the four-time Grand Slam champion and former world number one. Speaking on the Love All podcast with Blair Henley, Clijsters described the extraordinary level of attention surrounding the young Filipina in terms few people would dare use. Clijsters said Alex Eala is living with a kind of fame that resembles Michael Jordan in the Philippines. She immediately followed that comparison with a note of caution, explaining that it would be important for Eala to stay protected from the enormous attention surrounding her and remain focused on her tennis. Coming from one of the most respected champions of the modern era, those words carried enormous weight. This wasn't social media hype or fan exaggeration. It was an experienced former world number one recognizing the scale of Eala's popularity. Clijsters also praised Eala's game, pointing to her dangerous left-handed style, her outstanding two-handed backhand, and her ability to switch instantly from defense to attack with what she described as a pit bull mentality. Yet it was the Michael Jordan comparison that resonated most. It wasn't really about basketball. It was about cultural influence. Jordan represented complete commercial dominance within his country, and Clijsters believed Eala occupies a similar position in the Philippines. That is exactly the kind of influence global brands are willing to invest in. For luxury companies and multinational sponsors, the opportunity extends well beyond the Philippines itself. They also see millions of Filipinos living in the United States, Canada, Japan, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Australia, and across Southeast Asia. Every time Eala competes, she brings together a worldwide audience with deep emotional ties to her success. During the Dubai tournament earlier this season, fans traveled from multiple countries simply to watch her play. That level of international support is exceptionally rare and makes her increasingly valuable to companies looking for a global ambassador. Industry observers have naturally compared Eala's commercial rise to Emma Raducanu's remarkable breakthrough following the 2021 US Open. Both players attracted enormous worldwide attention that extended far beyond their rankings, creating sponsorship opportunities few athletes experience so early in their careers. The difference is that Raducanu's endorsement boom followed a Grand Slam title. Alex Eala has reached a similar commercial tier before winning a WTA Tour Singles Championship. While she captured a significant milestone by winning the WTA 125 event in Guadalajara in September 2025, the first Filipina ever to claim a WTA Challenger-level singles title, her biggest achievements in the sponsorship world have arrived even faster than her biggest victories on the court.